Hey everybody, hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Hope you all are having a wonderful day. Thus far, it's Saturday afternoon. Thank God for a successful week. Thank God that we didn't quit, that we didn't throw in the towel, that everything that we were supposed to do, everything that we planned to do, it happened. And for that, we give God honor. For that, we give him praise and glory. Still on a high from the graduation of my eldest son earlier in the week. So very proud of him. What a way to kick off the Mother's Day weekend, right? With watching your eldest son graduate, a college graduate. So very proud of him for not stopping. He kept motivating himself to do better, be better, that I can do this even if I have to go back to the drawing board. So definitely excited about that, but excited for the weekend, of course, because there is no better time. If you work Monday through Friday, there's no better time than the weekend. Give you time to relax, do some of the things that you are supposed to do or that you have to do. We had worship service on this morning, and it was good. I thank God that he keeps reminding us of what his word says and how there even though times change and things change, his word is something that will always stay the same. So wonderful worship where we experience the presence of the Lord once again. There's nothing better than being able to experience him for yourself. And then after that, you chase it. You need it. It's almost like you're a junkie because you understand what happens when you have an encounter with God, when you have that moment that you spend with him, whether it's in praise or whether it's in worship, whether it's in devotion, whether it's just him giving you the word and getting a new understanding. Anytime you can be in his presence, there's always something good, and you pull from it and you gain strength, and it just resets you for the course of the week. I just thank God for just another opportunity. Welcome to everybody that is listening. I know that we are normally in the morning, it's devotion and coffee, which is not going to change. I don't have coffee, but we have our devotion. Welcome to everybody that's listening for the very first time. It's your girl Chantel. Let me know where you're listening from. Let me know what your platform is that you're listening in from. And thank you that you thought it not robbery just to chime in and get what God has given on today. It's definitely a lot. Wanted to start off, of course, with our devotion. We're going to go ahead and get that out of the way, because then we get to talk about moms and how we're paying homage to every mother, every person that has walked in the role of being a guardian and is a female and is just got the characteristics of just, we'll get to it when we get to it. But what God gave me on this morning in devotion was coming from Psalms 143:7. And it says, quickly, Lord, and Psalms 143:7 says, come quickly, Lord, and answer me, for my depression deepens. Don't turn away from me, or I will die. And what I found in that devotion on this morning, isn't it good to know that if you call God, if you call on him, 911 emergency, God, I need your very present help, that he comes, he answers, he fulfills the need that you have at that moment because you call on him. And the amazing thing about it is he answers those that seek his face. And it's not something that we do part-time or we do just because, like using it as a spare tire, but it's because we have developed the type of relationship that I don't do anything. I don't start my day. I don't give any other time to anyone until I give it to you. And that has solidified our relationship, to know that, guess what? I know she's not calling for anything. I know that it really must be something. She really must be in need. And a lot of times when we call God to quickly show up, it's because we know that flesh is beginning to rise up. We know that the response that we're supposed to give is hard to keep that response coming. We know that in that moment, God, I'm not going to be pleasing in your sight. So I need you to come now and help me. God, you better get them. God, you better inform them. God, you better let them know. God, you better change my mindset right now. Because right now, the way that I'm feeling, I want to say what I want to say. But then again, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, like, do I really want to do this and lose everything that I've gained, and have God look at me and frown or be upset or be sad because I chose to let the enemy win in whatever it is? So God, I need you to come quickly in my life, in my children, in my home, on my job. I need you to come quickly. And how befitting is it that we call on him, he answers. There's a song that said, that old song from back in the day that says Jesus is on the main line. I don't need Jesus on the main line. I need to know that if I just mention your name, the song, at the mention of your name, I know that things will begin to happen. The situation will turn around. I don't want to have to be placed on hold. I don't want to talk to no operator. I don't want to have to talk to customer service. I need to get straight to you. So I don't want you to be on no main line. I want to be able to come to you. I want to go straight to the source, because guess what? The message might get misconstrued when other hands are in it. The sense of urgency might get misconstrued coming from somebody else. So God, I need you to know that when I'm saying come quickly, God, I need you to stand up for me right now, because I know that in this moment I'm struggling. I know that in this moment I'm battling. And the amazing thing is that when he comes and he begins to move just like we need, sometimes better than what we think that he's going to move. That I find a sense of security in knowing that when I call him, he always answers me. He's never turned his back on me. And because of that, I know to call on him, because I know without him, I'm nothing. I know I can't operate without him. I know that I need him in all that I do. In every aspect of my life, I need God. So God, I need my relationship to be so solid. I need it to be so firm, and I need it to be so unwavering that when I call you, you come. You don't have to question. You don't have to be like, well, where was you when I needed you? You will know that I've been there, and I will know that you will be there for me. It's that thing that in a relationship, there's give and take, and it's a two-way street that you got to give some, you got to give some, you got to do certain things in order for a relationship to work. It's a two-way street. It's not just one person. We can't expect God to do everything, and then we don't do anything. So I thank God that that's not my relationship, that my relationship says, you have spent your time, that you're giving me what I need, that you're standing, you're studying, you're worshiping, you're serving. And for that, I'm coming through. Because you're my child, I'm coming through. Because I'm your father, you're coming through. Come quickly, God. God, because I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to make you frown. I don't want the enemy to win. I don't want to have to start over. I don't want to have to revisit this thing. So God, I need you to show up now on my behalf. Don't let this flesh get the best of me. Remind me of who you said you were. And so that in my response, you continue to get the glory. In my actions, you continue to get the honor. In everything that I do, you continue to get the praise, because you came and you allowed me to think on those things. That's why it's so important for us to make sure that we study and we spend time with God, so that all it takes is a mere thought. You know what? When I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that he's done for me, when I think about where he's brought me from, when I think about what he's done in my family, when I think about how he's turned things around, why wouldn't I give give him the response that's needed? Why wouldn't I give him the praise, the honor, and the glory in making sure that my actions line up with his word and that nothing is contrary to what why wouldn't I, when I think of all that he's done, when I think of the sacrifice that he didn't have to make, but he made just for me. When I think about it, I'm appreciative. When I think about it, I go into just a humble and a sovereign place, like, God, you did this just for me and you didn't have to. And for that, I know that I can withstand that which I am. Sometimes all we need is just a reminder that, guess what? If I went through what I went through, I'm equipping you now to go through it and be better. Not even better, but make sure that your responses are what they need to be to make you better. Our responses make us better. So God, I need you to come quickly. Don't hesitate. You won't have to think about anything, because I know that you will always be there. And because the time that I spend and what I've given to you, and my life isn't even predicated on whether I one up him or what. God is just so good. There's no amount of anything I could ever repay what he's done. But what I do know is, because I am his child, because I've given him my yes, because I have given him everything that I am, and I do nothing without him, I know that he's going to come quickly. Don't you find peace in knowing that when you call God, he's going to answer? He's a very present help in the time of trouble. Even if it's not trouble, guess what? I find peace in knowing that, God, when I call you, you hear me, you know my name, you recognize my sound, you understand what I need in that moment, and you give me just that. That's what the scripture says. That's how it encouraged me, that come quickly. I find peace in knowing that when I call God, he comes quickly and he rescues me and he delivers me from whatever it is that I might be going through. He delivers me from failing. He delivers me from the hand of the enemy. He delivers me from falling short. He delivers me and sets me back in a place where I give him complete honor and glory for the things that he's done. That's our devotion on this morning. And that just had me all riled up. I thank God. I honor him for his word that I can continue to share and I can continue to give. There is nothing like being able to just bask in his presence and think on the word that he's given to us to continue out. Oftentimes to just reset us and allow us to go back to having a wonderful day, because I refuse to be defeated. I refuse to be sad. I refuse to be fearful. I refuse to allow the enemy to get joy in anything. I don't even care if I'm going through trials, tribulation, death, anything. I refuse to allow the enemy to get the words out of my mouth that he has won. Won't get it. Different mindset. Different change of thinking, different place in my life. And I understand now. I understand better. I understand a lot more of what it means to have a solidified relationship in Christ. And I thank God. Thank you so much for those that have chose to chime in and just listen. And I know I said I wanted to talk on mothers today because, of course, it's Mother's Day weekend, and hats off to every mother. Hats off to all of those that have living moms or are, being able to spend time with their mom. Even the ones whose mothers have gone on to a better place. Guess what? This weekend is not a sad weekend. This weekend is not something where you walk around with your head hung down. This weekend is not one where you have to cry sad tears. But this is a weekend that we rejoice that God actually gave us a chance to have a mother. God actually gave us a woman that would care for us, a woman that would love us unconditionally and constantly groom us into the individuals that we are today. Whether you're man, woman, boy, girl, still a child, we honor mothers on today. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for every prayer. Thank you for every ounce of every act of service that has ever been given, because as a mom, we give till we have nothing left. And we thank every mom. Hats off to my mom, who is still the absolute most beautiful woman in my life. Now that I am walking in the role of older children, definitely just thanking God that I still can pull from my mom. She's still giving us examples and being the example that we need. She is a woman of faith, a woman of prayer, a woman that is unwavering in the fact that without God, she would not be here. Without God, we would not be here. We honor God for such a strong woman to raise 6 biological children on her own, turn around and adopt 4 and raise those, and is now a grandmother to almost 21 children. And we thank God because she's still yet beautiful, living her best life. My father, who spoils her to the absolute most, but we thank and we love her. This woman sacrificed so much so that we could be the women and the men that we are. Did we get everything right? No, we didn't. Did we have those moments of her having to chastise and we having to have those conversations that we went back and talked and get yourself together and guess what, it's not the end of the world? Did we have to have those moments where we shed tears? Yes, and they were needed. All of those moments provided growth, provided stages in our life that we would go back and appreciate. And I just thank God that I have the mom that I have, that there's nothing I would ever be ashamed of. There's nothing that I would ever regret. There's nothing that I take away from what she's given except for her strength. Her strength has power. Her strength has allowed us so many open doors in our life. Her strength, her prayers, and her relationship with Christ, which covered us even when we stepped away from church, even when we stepped away from God, and we were out, me and my siblings I'm speaking of, and we were out there trying and doing everything that we were big and bad enough to do. She was still praying. She still yet believed. She still covered. She still loved unconditionally. But she also set a standard and she did not waver from it. And I thank God. I thank God that my mom didn't become my friend until I was way, 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 way older. And I think that is what I appreciate the most, is because I needed her to be a mom to me growing up. I didn't need her to be my friend. And she didn't need me to be her friend. I needed her to be my mom, and that's what she was. So that everything she was doing, everything that she imparted into me, I would be able to use, and I would be able to pass down to my children. And oftentimes I remind my children, yes, times are different, but the one thing that I take from what she gave me is that I am not my children's friend. I am their mother, and I take pride in being a mom. I don't want to be your friend. I want to be your mother. And when the time comes for us to, be to take on a different role in our relationship, because she'll be my mom to the day that I die, to this very moment, at even my wonderful age that I am now, she still stands in the role of mother. There is an underlying respect that she gets. I don't talk back. I might not even agree with what she's saying, but the disrespect will never be there because she is my mother and I love her dearly. There's nothing in the world that I would ever say or do to change that, or to not be there when it's needed. I have watched my mother go through so much, and still her faith and her love for her family is unwavering, and that I take and I hold on to, and I try to exhibit with my family, and I try to exhibit in my life. And I I thank God for what would the world be like if there were not mothers? Do we ever think about that? A lot of us wouldn't be here because, of course, until science started dibbling and dabbling in what they do, the only way you could bear children was a woman had to bear the child. And we thank those women for the great sacrifice. Every grandmother, every godmother, every, auntie, all of the mothers that had that village mentality that, guess what? I don't have to have birthed you, but because I want to see better in you, guess what? I'm going to speak life into you. I thank all of those people, all of those. You are mothers. If you had that nurturing mindset to take care of, whether it was yours or whether it was not yours, to every foster mom that reached beyond the brink of it may not even be mine, but because I want to see better for you, I am giving you what was given to me. To every adopted mother, thank you for thinking more of that child than you think of yourself. To every godmother that stands in that position of that, guess what? They have that responsibility that I know if anything happens to these biological parents, I then step up and I am that mother, that caretaker, or that nurturer that child needs. Happy Mother's Day to every mom. And I pray that you enjoy this weekend, whether your mother is here or not. If your mother is not here, guess what? The best thing that you can do is hold on to the good times. There had to be a moment that there was joy. There had to be a moment where you think about the laughter and the time that you were able to spend. You have to get into a place where I refuse to be sad on a weekend that can bring me joy. Think back on those things. I know I've never lost a mother, and so I can never speak from experience, but I know that holding on to the good times is what will allow you to continue to live. Remember what was given. Thank God for the time that you had. Thank God for her giving life. Thank God for her creating a foundation in your life that, guess what? I love you, and my love is here, and my love is not going to change. I pray for every mother that has walked away. I pray for every mother that has resign from her duties. I pray for them that God touch their mind, that they understand what an impact they can make in the life of an individual when you just stand firm on nurturing the life of another. I pray for them. I pray for those that want nothing to do with it. It is an experience like none other. I pray for those that may not ever be able to walk in the role of a mother due to whatever situation. I pray for you that God allow you to at least have an experience to nurture, to love, to care for. It's no longer a thing of whether you can bear a child, but if you can take on that attribute of nurturing an individual and standing and setting standards and praying and covering and being there when you need to be there, not financially, but naturally, spiritually, I pray for you. I just thank everybody for listening on today, and I pray that you enjoy your weekend. Make sure you take some time for yourself. Mother's hats off to you and to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for chiming in. It's your girl Chantel. This is Chatting with Chantel, Devotion and Coffee, and everybody enjoy your weekend. Love you. Bye.